My favorite thing about my job is being a part of a student's journey from the beginning to the end and learning from them their story, what has brought them to this path and this time, to explore their passions, their convictions. There isn't a day that I come to work that I don't learn something new. There isn't a day that I'm not reflecting about my impact that I have on others and that the impact that they have on me. The complexity of humanity hasn't changed. The urgency around need for advocacy and support and thinking about the wellness of the whole hasn't changed. And I think that our students and our graduates have risen to the challenge no matter what decade it's been.
I knew pretty clearly in college that I wanted to pursue a master's in social work. I grew up in a family that was incredibly connected to service, especially to underserved communities, and I wanted to be in a profession that was really aligned with my values. And I think that that's actually incredibly rare, to find a profession and a professional identity that really speaks to what we feel passionate about and care about. Every day, I think now more than ever, we need social workers who are passionate, who are engaged, who care deeply about supporting the most vulnerable people in our communities. We need people who are not just calling out injustice, but who are actively part of solutions.
Everything that I've had the opportunity to do really in my career has been a result of the experiences that I had here at the School of Social Work. And I had this incredible professor who kind of stretched what is possible in social work and helped me to think about what are the systems that create the environments in which we provide programs and services. And do you want to work individually with one family at a time or one kid at a time? Or do you want the opportunity to impact 10, 100, 1,000, thousands of kids and families? And that was part of what brought me to graduate school. Like, I wanted to better understand the conditions and how to better help kids and families. And so going through the Child Welfare Partnership, I had this incredible exposure, right, from being in the classroom to being in an internship, so in the workplace, and then having focused academics to better learn how the system was operating. So it was just really amazing to see like how that classroom experience all those years ago is still like timely and relevant to the work that we do today.
For me as a professor in the classroom, I am always sparked by the level of excitement and enthusiasm that BSW students bring. There's like a yearning to learn and really want to give back and be of service. And so I see that excitement, and that really helps fuel me as a professor. I am also inspired by the students who are willing to take a stand against some of the things that we are faced with right now in society. And there's not a hesitation about that. There's not a waffling about that. They're very clear about their values, and they're very clear about their ethics and principles.
We need human service practitioners that are reflective, that are self-aware, that have practical skill and knowledge, and have a solid sense of the larger social conversation. At the root of the human services movement is this idea of social change and social justice. One of the things that I hope for the future is that we allow students to understand this kaleidoscope of possibilities within the field of human services, that there are many opportunities, and anyone who is interested in helping other people, other human beings, can be a human service practitioner.
When you're interested in social work, you have to take research and evaluation classes, and it's hard to see the connection to social work values. But from my perspective and from everybody here at the Regional Research Institute, understanding how social work values can inform the research we conduct, to ensure that the human services we deliver are informed by equity and the values that are so important to us as researchers. There really is a place for social work research to be a kind of social work that you can conduct for your career. Now more than ever, we need to understand how to deliver services to people in our communities who need support. Often our graduate students and undergraduate students can be the interventionists, so they're doing direct practice that's being studied as part of the research project, and then they're able to help us test whether it's effective, and then they can take those skills into the real world after they graduate.
I went through a process of knowing I wanted to switch careers. Once I got to PSU, it was really lovely to understand the full breadth of what one can do as a social worker and to be given theoretical frameworks and ways to apply that in the world was really important, like a living embodied way to bring about structural social change.
I was drawn to working at PSU because in many ways it reflects the opportunities and the challenges that we face as a city and as a region. All of the concerns that are a part of an urban campus are embedded here within PSU. First generation students, immigrant populations. So our hope is that as you continue to look at opportunities for your careers, you'll understand that in many ways you bring a depth of insight that is very much needed and to be layered into the paths and the strategies that we create going forward. So I would say be prepared for what you know and be open for what you'll learn.
Something social work and the social work school did for me is taught me how to be an advocate, a strong advocate. Understanding systems and how systems impact people. Although I wanted to go in a clinical track working with children, I was really encouraged in the way of social work being able to just have more opportunities available. I have a family, and as I'm watching my rights be impacted in ways, it's really more important for me now to use my voice in advocacy.
I'm so thankful that I got my social work degree because that's really what allowed me to think outside of it, think of the systems, and then basically say nope, I'm not gonna just sit in this office anymore. I'm gonna go out here and do this work here because that's where I think I'm needed. Got my master's and then have fallen in love with and don't ever want to stop doing sort of behavioral health services, especially behavioral health services on the street. I find it to be the most rewarding, impactful, hard, difficult, and lovely work I've ever done. Empowering folks to figure out what they want to do in their lives, and that's the role of a social worker, is to empower people to be their best selves, and if they ask for our help, to ask them, how can I do that for you? What social work is hope for me that despite all the things, we're gonna continue to make a better world for everyone, and that's what I wanna be a part of. And that's, I guess, that doesn't touch your heart. This is not the right field for you, but I think everyone is wanting to do that right now, or I hope that they do.